Welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and I travel full-time with my cat and my FJ Cruiser. Sometimes we take the travel trailer with us, other times all we've got is our overlanding setup. It's been a while, so let's start with a quick recap. In the last video, Jessica and Melissa came to visit me. It was our first time seeing each other in about 2 years. They were the first people that I RV'd with when I just got started in 2020. This week, I finally get my bike and then I will try to meet up with Jessica and Melissa at White Sands. I've wanted an e-bike for several years since before I ever even hit the road. Unfortunately, these things are so expensive, but when the gas prices skyrocketed, I decided this was an excellent way to cut down my driving, and it was super handy for that. I paid $2,800 for this bike in, I think, May 2022, and I just finished paying for it last month, which is May 2023. I got a zero APR option, so I paid no interest to finance this bike for a year. So I was lucky with that. There's really not a lot of great financing options, so you will have to shop around if you want this or another bike like it. I got this from a Canadian company and I love it. This is the tool that came with it to assemble it, and these are the tools that my very handy neighbor in Animas brought over to help me set up the bike. It's really interesting watching the video and seeing some of the things that we struggled with, because since then I have had to do these things by myself, but I am so grateful that he came by and helped me set up the bike on the first run. So then I put air in the tires. I didn't pump it all the way up because I was going to ride it off-road, and as you know, if you ride off-road then you need lower PSI in your tires. The bike looks so good, worth every penny. Some quick specs: it's a 1000 watt motor, it goes up to 30 miles per hour, and I can get about 40 miles of battery range. Once I had everything all set up, I was like, yes, I am taking this with me for sure to White Sands. Unfortunately, the major downside to this bike is that it doesn't fold. It's really big. It's really heavy. And, the FJ Cruiser is not a large vehicle. It looks large, but compared to, a regular truck, even the 4Runner is bigger than the FJ Cruiser. So I really thought that it could fit. And I was correct, as I'll show you later. But for this first attempt, I just could not figure out how to get it in. But I figured it out many months later when I was leaving Animas for good. So for this trip, I decided to just put it inside the RV, leave it, and go to White Sands. Without it, I was pretty disappointed, but I also didn't want to keep messing with it for the whole day and then miss out on seeing my friends in White Sands. So fast forward a couple of months later, after I left Animas, moved away from the site, and I was packing up to go back to Mexico, and you can see the bike fits in the back of the FJ, so I was correct. But it took a lot of practice to get there. In fact, I was able to travel with it and ride off-road in beautiful parks, and I will show you all of this. I have the footage later on. For now, let's stick to the chronological order of things and start with our trip from Animas to White Sands National Park to catch up with Jessica and Melissa. Now, this is like a 200-mile, 3-hour drive, and it wasn't too bad. White Sands is amazing. Wherever you are in the United States is definitely somewhere that I recommend going to, but especially if you are in the West or in New Mexico, you've got to go. I wanted to be up against the water, just so you know, that is toxic waste, so don't go in there. First things first, I had to level the FJ. For me, level doesn't mean literally leveling it. I like when the back end is a little bit higher because I sleep with my head on that side, so it's a much more comfortable experience. I put my go treads down and then I roll the truck forward, and as you can see, that lifts the back end off the vehicle. The next order of business was popping open the rooftop tent, which you guys have seen me do a couple of times before, so I won't go into details here. You have also seen me weather really high winds in this with my cat. However, this was my first time setting it up in high winds. It was a little bit tricky, but nothing crazy. The plan was to leave for White Sands at sunset, which I highly recommend. So I decided to just get settled for the couple of hours that we had left because this was like 3 o'clock in the day. So I got the essentials: gummy worms, coffee, and oranges. Holloman Lake is actually part of an Air Force base. It's this big, expansive, free camping spot. So why did Jessica and Melissa have this random person come park next to them? Which obviously, as two women traveling by themselves, that was not a comfortable experience. So I was like, I'm gonna go park by the lake and leave you guys over there with those strangers. And the same thing happened to me. Somebody pulled up right next to me and parked. If you are new to RVing, overlanding, van life, camping, dry camping, this is just my word of advice. Do not park next to us. Always give people their space, their breathing room, their privacy. The smaller the vehicle, the more privacy we need, because obviously I do not have a bathroom, and so a lot of the activities are going to happen outside, and I do not want or need somebody parked directly next to me to interrupt or disrupt my privacy. See, this is where my toilet is. Why are you parked next to me? So those are the kinds of things that you need to keep in mind. You might think, oh, I want some company, or I bet the other person wants company. We don't want company. Just leave us alone. You can talk to us when you see us walking around, but allow us to enjoy our space. I mean, here I am. I came to see my friends, and I'm sitting in the back of the FJ looking out at the lake by myself. I am a solitary person. A lot of us who camp and travel in this way are solitary people. Another reason, which I kind of touched on, is that if we don't have a bathroom, a lot of our cleaning up activities is going to happen outside. Taking showers, changing our clothes and so forth. So if you park right next to us, you are really, really putting us in an uncomfortable position. Now, obviously, if it's an RV park or something else that has a designated parking spot, that's different. But with the size of this place, those people could have absolutely parked elsewhere. So you know what? I decided I want to take my shower anyway. I played my music, not to the point to disrupt anybody else, but definitely if you were parked right next to me, it was not ideal. I have a lot of footage from White Sands. I'm not really sure how I'm going to break it up or how much I'll show you, but this is a glimpse of that. So stick around and we'll see when that video comes out. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.